The great hall of the Galactic Council was filled with whispers, beeps, and soft humming sounds. Thousands of alien leaders, scientists, and diplomats sat around the glowing circle. The ceiling showed stars slowly spinning above them like a calm ocean in space. Everyone was waiting for the High Chancellor to speak. He stood tall in the center, his long silver robes moving without wind. His voice echoed through the chamber. "After thousands of years, we now confirm the truth," he said. "Earth is a myth." A low murmur rose. Some aliens clapped. Others just nodded. "There is no record of its location," the Chancellor continued. "The planet's description is scientifically impossible. A world full of oxygen, water in 3 forms, a rich ecosystem with millions of species living together. Lies. All of it." No. The council members began to vote. One by one, lights turned red. A final screen appeared in the air. Earth status. Falstadt High Chancellor Vorkon raised his hand. "This case is now closed." Far away, watching this announcement on a cracked old screen, sat a man named Dr. Kalin. His eyes were tired, but they burned with something stronger than anger. Truth. "They did it," he whispered. "They erased Earth." Kalin lived in a dark, hidden lab deep inside an asteroid near the edge of the galaxy. No one knew he was alive. They thought the last humans were gone. But he had survived. He had proof. He stood up and walked to a locked door made of thick black metal. He placed his hand on the scanner, blinked red, then green. The door hissed open. Inside was a cold, glowing room. Shelves held glass containers, small boxes, and strange glowing jars. In the center, under a clear dome, floated 5 objects: a small green seed, a drop of blue water, a clump of dark soil, a frozen single-cell life form, and a glowing crystal. "These are not myths," Kalin said softly. "These are memories." He remembered the day Earth fell. The sky had turned red. The oceans boiled. People screamed. Then silence. But before the end, Kalin and a few scientists escaped. They carried the last pieces of Earth real, untouched. Most died later. Only Kalin remained. Now, the council called Earth a lie. He wouldn't let that happen. He tapped a control panel on the wall. A small drone unfolded from a box and floated to his side. "You ready, Echo?" Kalin smiled. The drone beeped once. "I'm sending you to the council. Carefully the samples." "Carefully." Echo beeped twice confirmation. Kalin placed the samples into the drone, locking each one inside its chamber. He looked at them for a long time. "Let them laugh," he said. "Let them deny. But when they see this, the galaxy will remember." He sent the drone out through a launch tube. It vanished into the stars. Back in the council hall, Chancellor Vorkon met with other high officials. "There's still talk in the outer systems," one alien said. "Some species still believe Earth was real." "Let them," Vorkon replied. "Coldly belief is not proof." "Odd." "There was one signal," said another. "Strange coordinates just appeared. No source." Vorkon narrowed his eyes. "Send a scout. If it's another human trick, destroy it." 2 days later, a strange probe reached the council's science station. It was small, silent, and didn't respond to scans. "Looks like old Tech 1. Scientists said. "Could be human. Humans are extinct." Another laughed. "This is just junk." But when they opened it, they found the 5 samples. "What is this?" The water was crystal clear. When they touched it, the sensors went crazy. "This liquid supports organic life," said the lead scientist. "The soil was rich and alive with microbes. The seed sprouted almost instantly in zero gravity. The cell came back to life. But the crystal, it was different. It glowed when touched. It reacted to voices. When someone said Earth, the crystal pulsed like a heartbeat. "This is no trick," the lead scientist said. These are real." The news reached Chancellor Vorkon quickly. "Is this true?" he demanded. "Yes, Chancellor," the scientist replied. "We believe these samples may be from Earth." Vorkon's face twisted in anger. "No. This is dangerous. If the galaxy starts believing again. He turned to his guards. Destroy the probe. Seal the lab. But it was too late, Echo. The drone had recorded everything. The Council's reaction, the scientist's discovery, the fear in Vorkan's eyes, and deep inside the crystal, a message had already been released. A visual memory of Earth's oceans, forests, and skies. Beings across the galaxy began to see it. A council member, a tall creature named Sarana, watched the video in secret. She had always believed the stories. Her grandfather once told her about Earth, about music, rain, trees. Now, she had seen it with her own eyes. I knew it, she whispered. They were wrong. She sent a secret message to the edge of space, to the sender. We believe you. Send more. Kalan received the message late in the night, stood alone in his lab watching the stars. A single light blinked on his screen. Message. Received. His hand trembled. He opened it. He read it once, then twice. He smiled. They saw it. He walked back to the vault and looked at the empty sample chambers. I hope it was enough, he said. Then he noticed something. The crystal's chamber was glowing again. What now? He whispered. He opened the chamber. Crystal floated. Up by itself, it projected a light into the room, a new image. It showed a hidden location, a planet, not Earth. But something similar, and at the bottom, one line of human text appeared. They took Earth from us, but not our legacy. Alan stared at it, heart pounding. There was more to this story, much more, and it was only the beginning. Dr. Kalen didn't sleep that night. He sat in silence, staring at the projection from the crystal. The glowing image still floated in the air. It showed a planet surrounded by strange energy waves. The planet looked alive, green, blue, and full of clouds. At the bottom of the hologram, the message remained. They took Earth from us, but not our legacy. What planet is this? Kalen whispered. Is this a map or a warning? The crystal slowly dimmed and dropped back into its chamber. Kalen stepped back, deep in thought. Someone had activated this message, but it wasn't him. Maybe the crystal had an AI, or maybe someone else was guiding it? Another survivor? Small beep pulled him back to reality. Echo, the drone had returned. You made it back? Kalen asked. Echo hovered, blinking twice in response. The drone had deep scratches on its shell. Part of its plating was burned. What happened? Kalen asked, touching the damage. Echo projected a short recording. It showed the council's scientists studying the samples, their shocked faces, and the moment the crystal activated.
Ow.
Then came something else. Guards entering the lab, weapons drawn, shouting orders. Stop the broadcast. Lock it down. Destroy the drone. Kalen watched as the footage showed Echo escaping through a ventilation shaft. Lasers nearly hit him, but he escaped. You're lucky, Kalen said. But now they know you exist. And they'll come for us. Paused. No. They'll come for me. Far away inside the Galactic Council's main fortress, High Chancellor Vorkan was furious. He slammed his hand on the table, shaking the glass surface. You told me the drone was destroyed? The nervous officer replied. It escaped before we could stop it, Chancellor. Vorkan's eyes narrowed. The crystal sent out a signal. We don't know where. There could be more of them. Another voice entered the room, calm and firm. Perhaps that's a good thing. Yes. Everyone turned. Sarana, the tall council member with pale blue skin and silver eyes, stepped forward. Vorkan scowled. You support this nonsense? You think Earth is real? I believe what I saw, she replied. You all did. That seed grew in zero gravity. The water made dead cells come alive. The crystal showed us a living world. It could be fake, someone said. Or it could be the truth, Sarana answered. Vorkan waved his hand. Enough. I want that drone found. I want the source of that signal traced. And if anyone else speaks of Earth again, he paused. They will face exile. The room went silent. Sarana left the chamber, walking quickly through the marble halls. Once alone, she opened her personal communicator and typed a hidden message to Unknown origin, we need to meet. I believe you. Tell me where. As she sent it using an old encrypted human protocol when her grandfather once taught her. Back on the asteroid, Kalen received the message almost instantly. He didn't recognize the sender, but the code was familiar. Ancient Earth frequency. Trusted. He hesitated. Could it be a trap? Echo blinked, waiting for a command. She says she believes, Kalen said. But we've heard lies before. He thought for a moment and typed a reply. Coordinates. Sector 94X. Bring no guards. Come alone, Serana received the reply just as she entered her private ship. She didn't tell anyone. No bodyguards. No escort. Just her and a quiet pilot droid. As the ship left the council planet, her heart pounded. Was she being foolish? Brave. She stared out the window. If Earth was real, she whispered, then everything they taught us was a lie. Hours later, her ship arrived at the hidden asteroid. It looked dead, just another floating rock in space. But when she approached, lights flickered and a small hangar opened. She landed. Kalen waited inside, standing still in the shadows. A long coat covered his body, and his face was older than she expected. Tired, but his eyes sharp and full. A fire, you're the sender, Serana said. You're the believer, he replied. They stared at each other for a moment. Why help me? Kalen asked. Because I've always known the council was hiding something, and now I have proof. Walked over to the sample chamber and showed her the seed. Now fully grown into a small plant? It shouldn't grow here, he said. No light, no gravity, but it lives. Serana looked closer. The leaves moved slightly like they were breathing. This was Earth. She asked softly. Kalen nodded. This and more. He showed her the crystal. She reached out, gently touching. The hologram returned. The planet, the message, the coordinates. Serana's eyes widened. That's not Earth, she said. But I've seen that planet before, on old restricted star maps. Kalen stepped closer. Where? It's in the Forbidden Zone. No ships go there. Too much radiation, strange energy fields. Council banned travel centuries ago. Kalen's heart pounded. Maybe that's why this message points there. Maybe Earth, or something like it, is hidden in that zone. Serana looked at him. You want to go there, don't you? He nodded. I have to. If there's even a chance. If humans are still alive, or if our legacy is there. I must know. She hesitated. If I help you, I'll lose everything. My position. My name. Kalen looked her in the eyes. You'll gain the truth. Outside, in deep space, a hidden satellite watched Serana's ship land. Inside the satellite, a red light blinked. Location detected. Signal confirmed. A deep robotic voice spoke. Target found. Preparing strike. Back in the lab, Kalen and Serana worked together. He showed her the data collected by Echo, the energy readings, the star patterns, the voice fragments left in the crystal's memory. Serana studied them. This isn't just a message, she said. It's a trail, a path. They plotted a course to the Forbidden Zone. Kalen packed the remaining samples. Echo hovered close by. Suddenly alarms screamed. Warning. Incoming object, Echo announced. Kalen ran to the control screen. A missile, high-speed, guided, was heading toward the asteroid. They found us, he said. Serana didn't panic. My ship is fast. Let's go now. They grabbed the samples, the crystal, and ran to her ship. Just as the hangar door closed, the asteroid exploded behind them. Kalen watched the fireball fade in the rear window. That was my home, he whispered. Serana, set the ship to full speed. Then let's find you a new one. As the ship vanished into deep space, the Forbidden Zone waited ahead, dark, dangerous, but full of secrets, and somewhere inside it, a truth greater than anything the galaxy had known was waiting to be found. The stars outside the window of Serana's ship blinked slowly as they traveled through deep space. The ship was quiet, except for the low hum of the engine. Inside, Kalen sat beside the glowing crystal, watching it closely. The hologram had turned off, but a soft pulse still moved inside the crystal like a heartbeat. Serana sat in the pilot's seat. Her hands rested on the controls, but her mind was full of questions. "How much farther?" she asked. "We're halfway," Kalen replied. "The path is clear for now. But once we enter the forbidden zone, everything changes." She glanced at him. "You've never been there?" "No one has," he said. "The council blocked all access. Even star maps don't show what's inside." She leaned back in her chair. "And you still think this planet, the one from the crystal, might be connected to Earth?" Kalen nodded. "The energy readings match Earth's last known signal. The biosphere signature is nearly identical. It may not be Earth, but it could be a mirror, a memory, maybe a sanctuary." Serana looked out at the stars. "Or a trap." Kalen didn't answer. Back in the Galactic Council's control center, Chancellor Vorkan stood before a large display screen. A group of officers sat around him, nervous and tense. "Status on the asteroid strike?" Vorkan asked. "Direct hit." The officer replied, "No life signs left behind. We believe the human and Serana were destroyed." Vorkan nodded slowly. "Good. Prepare a public message. Serana was killed in an accident. A ship failure." "Yes, Chancellor." He turned and left the room, a cold smile forming on his lips, but he was wrong. Serana's ship reached the edge of the forbidden zone. Outside, strange clouds of blue gas floated between chunks of black rock. Electric storms flashed in the distance. Their sensors began to glitch. "Shields at 80%, Serana said. "This place is a graveyard." Kalen stood beside her, looking at the map. "We're close. The signal is coming from inside that storm." Echo, the drone, hovered quietly in the back, scanning the area. Radiation rising, Echo beeped, but survivable. Serana took a deep breath. "Here we go." She pushed the ship forward, and it entered the storm. Inside, everything changed. Lightning cracked through the gas clouds. Strange shadows moved outside the ship. The navigation screen went dark for a second. Static filled the air, then silence. The ship passed through the final cloud, and before them was a planet. It was beautiful. Blue oceans covered most of its surface. Thick green forests stretched across the land. Giant rivers sparkled in the sun. "It looks just like Earth," Serana said, eyes wide. Kalen stared, breathless. "It can't be." But it was. The planet turned slowly, and a giant symbol became visible on its surface, carved into the land, glowing faintly. A human symbol. A DNA strand. "It's a message," Kalen whispered. "This planet was made. On purpose." They landed near a wide lake. The air was rich with oxygen. The wind smelled clean and warm. Kalen stepped outside first. The ground felt soft beneath his boots. Grass. Real grass. He dropped to his knees and touched the soil. "This is real," he said. "This isn't a dream." Serana followed, scanning the area. "There's no life signs, no cities, no power readings." "Maybe it's a sanctuary," Kalen said. "Maybe this planet was made to survive. After Earth was lost." He opened a case and took out the 5 samples. "I want to test them," he said. "Let's see if this place accepts them." He placed the seed into the soil. Within seconds, it began to sprout. It grew faster than before, turning into a small tree in less than a minute. "The soil is compatible," he said. "Perfectly." He poured the earth water onto the ground. The tree's leaves turned a brighter green. Echo floated down and released the microorganism sample into a nearby pond. Tiny lights appeared in the water life. "Everything works here," Serana said. "It's like this place was waiting for Earth to return." Kalen looked up at the sky. Maybe it was. Suddenly, the crystal floated up from the case by itself. It began to glow brighter than ever before. It projected a hologram again, this time much larger. The entire area around them lit up with images. They saw humans building something. Giant machines. Scientists working together. This is the past," Kalen said. The images showed a council attack, ships firing lasers, cities falling. The Earth destroyed. Then they showed something else. A team of humans launching a secret ship, carrying the samples and the crystal. That ship landed here. A voice spoke in English. If you are seeing this, you are the last. This planet is your second chance. Earth was taken, but Earth can rise again. Message ended. Serana and Kalen stood frozen. This planet is a backup, she said. A hidden copy of Earth. Kalen nodded slowly. They called it a myth. But we're standing on the truth. Back on the Council's homeworld, a new message spread through the black markets and secret networks. Someone had leaked the video from the crystal. Aliens across the galaxy watched the vision of Earth's fall, of the samples, of the new planet. Some believed, some feared, and some wanted revenge. A group of bounty hunters met in secret. One of them tapped the screen. That's a human world, he growled. And that means credits. Another nodded. The Council will pay big to keep this quiet, or to destroy it. A third whispered, let's find them before the Council does. Back on the new planet, Kalen walked through the forest alone. The trees were growing fast. Flowers bloomed. Birds, real birds, began to appear from nests. He sat by the lake and looked at the sky. I never thought I'd see this again, he said. Serana sat beside him. You gave the galaxy a second chance, she said. But now, there's will. Come. Some will want to help. Some will want to burn this place. We'll protect it, Kalen said. This time we won't run. He looked at the sky one last time. Let them come. Earth is ready. The forest around the landing site had grown thicker in just a few hours. Kalen walked slowly beneath the tall trees, brushing his hand against the leaves. They were wide, soft, and pulsing slightly, almost like they were alive in a new way. Serana followed behind him, scanning the air with a small device. Oxygen levels are rising, she said. Rapidly. It's not dangerous yet, but it's happening faster than any natural growth I've ever seen. Dut, it's because of the seed. Kalen replied. This tree came from Earth, but this planet is feeding it, helping it. Serana nodded. Still, something about this feels strange. Just then, Echo, the drone, beeped loudly from above. It hovered beside the tree Kalen had planted. The leaves began to shimmer, turning from green to silver. Unusual photosynthesis detected. Echo reported tree has entered phase 2 of accelerated growth. Phase 2? Serana asked. Kalen stepped forward. This shouldn't be happening. The tree's bark cracked open. Inside, a glowing pod began to form. Small bright lights floated around it like fireflies. The pod opened slowly. Inside it was something unexpected. A flower, but not just any flower. It was shaped like a human hand, with 5 petals curled inward. Glowing veins ran through it. As the petals unfolded, a soft humming filled the air like music. Kalen stared, unable to move. I've seen this before, he whispered. Where? Serana asked. In Earth's final lab. We designed this flower to send messages through biocode. We never tested it. We didn't have time. The flower opened completely, and from its center, a beam of light shot into the sky. High above, satellites hidden deep in orbit activated. Lights blinked. Ancient machines turned on after centuries of silence. A signal spread across the galaxy. Far away, in deep space, an old satellite received the signal, turned toward the source, and sent out a message. Signal confirmed. Origin, Edenine. Another satellite picked it up, then another. Within minutes, the message reached dozens of worlds, and on each of those worlds, someone heard it. Humans in hiding. Scientists who remembered Earth. Aliens who once helped humans. During the war, one by one, they heard the call. On the planet, the flower's beam faded. The petals slowly closed, and the tree shimmered softly in the light. Kalen turned to Serana. They heard us. She looked up. Who? Our people, he said. The ones who scattered across the stars. The ones who survived. Serana stepped back, unsure. Are you sure that's all who heard it? Kalen paused. He looked at the flower again. No, he admitted. Others will come too. At that moment, far away on a cold desert moon, a group of bounty hunters sat inside a dark control room. One of them slammed his fist on the table. There it is, he growled. Coordinates, open and clear. Another nodded. That's the human planet. Edenine, send the word, their leader said. The council will want it destroyed, and we'll get paid to do it. He smiled coldly. Let's burn Eden. Meanwhile, deep inside the council's restricted chamber, Chancellor Vorkan stood alone, watching a private monitor. The beam from Edenine had reached them too. The image of the tree, the flower, and the glowing Earth-like biosphere played on repeat. His advisors entered, shaking. Chancellor, it's real. The planet exists. The biosphere is active. People across the galaxy are talking. We can't stop it. Vorkan didn't look at him. Then we must erase it, sir. Send the fleet. Back on Edenine, Serana and Kalen had moved deeper into the forest. They found something new, ancient metal plates buried beneath the soil. Words carved into them in multiple languages: English, Galactic Common, Old Earth symbols. Kalen wiped the dirt off the plate. Safe World. Project Site 1, he read. Serana bent down beside him. This was planned. They made this planet before Earth was destroyed. Maybe even earlier, Kalen said. Maybe they knew Earth couldn't survive, so they built a backup and sent the seeds here. He looked around. Could protect life until it was time to return. Suddenly, Echo beeped sharply. Warning. Ships detected. High-speed approach. Multiple signals. Serana looked up. How many? Too many, Echo said. Not Council. It's unknown weapons signature. Unauthorized entry. Kalen clenched his fists. The bounty hunters. They rushed back to the ship. Kalen grabbed the samples and the crystal. Serana ran to the controls. We can't fight them, she said. No, Kalen replied, but we can defend the truth. He placed the crystal on the ship's interface. It glowed brightly, then connected with the planet's surface through the systems. A voice echoed through. The ship defense protocols activated. Outside, the ground shook. From beneath the trees, towers rose from the earth. Energy shields spread across the forest like giant domes. The bounty hunter ships entered the atmosphere fast. Angry, ready to attack. Then their controls froze. One pilot screamed, "I can't steer." "What is this?" The ship turned around and was pushed back by invisible energy. Another ship exploded without being touched inside the remaining ships. As panic spread, it's a trap. Retreat. But one ship broke through. It dove toward the landing site. Kalen saw it. They're coming straight for us. Serana grabbed her weapon, but before she could move, the tree opened again. The glowing flower returned, brighter than before, and from it, something stepped out. It was a tall, human-shaped figure. Not metal, not flesh. A living plant being grown from Earth DNA in Edenine soil. Its eyes glowed. It raised a hand. And vines shot up from the ground, wrapping around the incoming ship. The ship was caught, crushed, and lowered gently to the ground. The figure turned to Kalen. "You called," it said. We heard Kalen step forward. "Who are you?" "We are the Guardians," it replied. "Born from Earth's last breath. Created to protect what remains. You are the spark. We are the shield." Kalen stared in shock. Serana stepped forward. "There are more of you, many," the Guardian said, sleeping. Till now. The forest began to glow. More trees opened. More figures stepped out, each one different, but all clearly living weapons of nature. Kalen smiled. Then we're not alone. As the bounty hunters fled and the planet began to wake, the stars above flickered with motion. The Council fleet was coming. But this time Earth would be ready. Inside the High Council chamber, tension filled the air. Dozens of alien species sat around the glowing circle, whispering among themselves. For the first time in centuries, fear had returned to the Council. A giant screen above them showed a paused image a planet full of life, glowing forests, defensive towers rising from the ground, and strange humanoid creatures made of Earth-like plants. The Chancellor's voice broke the silence. This planet. Edenine is a threat, but it's not attacking anyone, said one council member. It's just alive. Too alive, Vorkon replied coldly. It's Earth, reborn. We destroyed Earth for a reason. Another voice spoke from across the chamber. It was Serana's backup, a calm and respected leader named Ryvek. Did we destroy Earth, or did we let it die because we feared it? Some members nodded slowly. Ryvek continued. Earth's biosphere was powerful. Yes, but it was not dangerous. Humans helped build our science, our ships. Then one day they vanished, and now we find this. A copy of Earth. It's growing, healing, calling out to survivors. Orkhan slammed his hand on the table. Earth was chaos. It couldn't be controlled. If this planet spreads, it will change the balance of the galaxy. A third member stood. Maybe that's what the galaxy needs. Vorkon's eyes burned. You want to return to the age of humans? I want the truth, the member replied, and you're hiding it. Gasps filled the room. The Chancellor pointed at the screen. That planet has activated ancient defense systems. It crushed bounty ships. It sent a signal across the stars. This isn't peace. This is war. Ryvek raised a hand. Or it's a warning. A message to leave it alone. Vorkon stepped forward. We vote now. Send the fleet or do nothing. The chamber lights dimmed. Votes were cast in silence. Half the lights turned red, half turned green. A tie. For the first time in council history, they were divided. Far away, on Edenine, Kalen stood before a large open field. The Guardians, the plant-like beings born from Earth's last DNA, stood tall and silent. Waiting, Serana walked up beside him. The bounty hunters left, she said. But not all of them. Some are still hiding in orbit, watching. They won't try again? Kalen replied. Not without council backing. He turned to the Guardians. Are you ready to defend this world? One stepped forward. Its voice was calm but strong. We are born to protect. We waited for the signal. Now we stand. Serana looked at the planet's changing sky. Storms swirled in the distance. Not dangerous, just full of strange energy. What happens if the council sends a fleet? She asked. Kalen didn't answer at first. Then he said, Then we show them what Earth really means. At that moment, inside a hidden part of the council building, a secret meeting was taking place. A hooded figure passed a data chip across the table. This contains everything, the figure said. The history, the shutdown orders, the truth. About Earth's destruction. The younger officer took it, hands shaking. Why give this to me? Because the people deserve to know. And because Vorkon fears only one thing, the truth. The officer nodded. I'll spread it. Hours later, across the galaxy, new data began to appear on illegal networks, black market channels, private servers, old council records, hidden. Reports, images of Earth's last days, the orders to abandon the planet, the failed attempt to erase all. Evidence it all leaked, and with it came something else, a message. Earth was never the enemy. Earth was the beginning. The galaxy trembled with new questions. Back on Edenine, the forest had expanded even more. New flowers bloomed each hour. Rivers shaped themselves around. Growing trees, animals began to appear. Not exact copies of Earth animals, but close. As if the planet remembered, Kalen sat with Echo, scanning the environment. Everything is evolving faster than I thought, he said. Is that dangerous? Echo asked. Kalen shook his head. No, it's beautiful. Serana arrived with news. Ryvek sent a message. The council vote was split. They can't decide whether to destroy us or protect us. Kalen smiled slightly. That means we have time. He looked at the glowing crystal beside him, but time may not be enough. Kalen couldn't sleep. He stood under the stars, watching the sky for movement. And then he saw it, a single ship shaped like a spear. silently entered the atmosphere. It landed far from the camp. No weapons fired. No alarms triggered. Kalen called for 2 guardians and Serana. Together, they approached the ship. The door opened slowly, and out stepped a woman. She looked human. Real human. Not a clone, not a plant, but a projection. She wore old Earth armor, scratched and burned. Her eyes were sharp. "Kalen," she asked. He froze. "Who are you?" "My name is Commander Ava." "Lynn," she said. "I'm from Colony 7. Kalen's heart skipped a beat. Colony 7 was lost. "No," she said. "We survived. We've been hiding, waiting, and when we saw the signal, we came." Serana stepped forward, shocked. "There are more of you thousands," Ava said. "Maybe more. Scattered but alive." She looked at E-9's sky. "This is what we hoped for." Kalen felt something rise in his chest, something he hadn't felt in years. Hope, but as dawn came, stars flickered again. More ships, big ones. Council fleet, red markings. Heavy armor, advanced weapons. Echo's alarm blared. Council warships. Approaching. 20 confirmed. 5 landing. 15 holding in orbit. Kalen turned to Ava. "Can you fight?" She nodded. "We've trained for this." Serana pulled up her tablet. "We still have the planet's defense towers." And the Guardians. Kalen looked around. This is it. He stood in the middle of the field and took a deep breath. "Everyone, prepare. We're not just protecting a planet. We're protecting the truth." As the Council fleet entered the atmosphere, the trees of Edenine glowed. The Guardians lined up along the forest edge. Ava's people came out from her ship carrying old Earth weapons, and in the center stood Kalen, holding the crystal in his hand. The sky thundered. Ships hovered above. Speakers came alive with Vorkin's voice. "This is your final warning," he said. "Surrender the planet. Surrender the human technology, or face destruction." Kalen stepped forward and spoke into the open channel. "We are Earth," he said. "You tried to erase us, but we are still here." He raised the crystal, and we remember. The skies above Edenine darkened as the Council's fleet hovered in position. Giant warships cast long shadows across the ground. Their weapons glowed red, ready to fire. Kalen stood at the front of the field, the glowing crystal in his hand. The Guardian stood behind him in a straight line. Commander Ava's team crouched beside the trees, weapons ready. Serana watched the ships with narrowed eyes. "This is it," Kalen said softly. "Everything we've done, it all comes down to this moment." A voice echoed from the fleet. "This is Chancellor Vorkon. You have 10 minutes to surrender." The message repeated in multiple languages. Ava lowered her helmet visor. "We're not surrendering, no," Kalen said. "We're not." He looked down at the crystal. It pulsed in his palm, brighter than before. "This thing has more power than we thought." Serana stepped closer. "You think it can stop a war?" "I don't know," Kalen said. "I think it's trying to say something." Inside the lead Council warship, Chancellor Vorkan paced back and forth. "Why haven't they responded?" he demanded. "Still no reply, sir," the officer said. "But our scanners are picking up a strange energy surge from the surface." "From where?" "From the crystal," the officer replied. "Same object that triggered the earlier signal across the galaxy?" Vorkin's face tightened. "I want it destroyed. Fire on that location." The officer hesitated. "Sir, the Council is still divided. If we attack first, do it." Vorkin roared. On Edenine, the sky flashed. A missile launched from the lead warship, screaming down toward the field. "Brace," Eva shouted. The Guardians raised their arms. Vines and roots burst from the ground, weaving together into a dome. The missile struck, boom. But the shield held. The dome shook, then slowly unwrapped itself. Everyone inside was unharmed. "That was a warning shot," Serana said. "They won't stop there," Ava added. Kalen looked at the crystal. It was now floating in the air on its own, spinning slowly. Then it spoke. A voice, clear and calm, echoed through the air in all directions. "This planet is not a weapon. It is a memory. It is a gift. And it is a choice." The voice came from the crystal, not Kalen's voice, not a recording, Something deeper. Something ancient. Everyone froze. Even the warships paused. You tried to erase Earth, but Earth cannot be erased. Earth lives in every breath of wind, in every drop of water, in every being that remembers. Kalen stepped back. It's alive. No, Serana said quietly. It's more than alive, it's aware. The crystal rose higher. Its light expanded. A large hologram formed, larger than ever before. It showed Earth before the war. Forests, oceans, cities full of life, people laughing, children playing. Then, fire, warships, bombs, silence. Next, it showed E-9, the creation. Scientists planting samples, machines building structures. A plan written in DNA, a final message formed in glowing letters. We failed to protect Earth. We built this world to protect the future. If you protect it, it will protect you. Then the image changed again, this time showing dozens of planets, scattered across the galaxy, marked with tiny lights. What is this? Ava asked. Kalen's eyes widened. I think those are the others. Others? Serana asked. Other safe worlds, Kalen replied. Other copies, other seeds. The hologram zoomed in on one blinking planet. The light flashed faster. Serana looked at the coordinates, that planet. It's near Council space. Kalen nodded slowly. They're not just afraid of E-9. They're afraid that Earth is everywhere. Inside the Council fleet, Vorkon watched the projection with disbelief. What is this madness? He hissed. The officers stared at the screen. Sir, they're not attacking us. They're showing us. The truth? I don't care, Vorkon shouted. Fire again. Burn the entire field. But no one moved. Do it, he screamed. Still, the crew didn't respond. Finally, one officer turned.
Ow!
I'm sorry, Chancellor, but we've received a message from Council Command. They've seen the crystal's broadcast. We are ordered to stand down. What? Revek's group released. Everything, the officer said. The secret files. The truth about Earth. They want answers. They want peace. Vorkon's face turned pale. No, this was my victory. I was going to erase them. But now, he had lost. Back on the surface, the crystal gently lowered itself into Kalen's hands. Its light dimmed, but the warmth stayed. It worked, Serana whispered. Kalen nodded, eyes still wide. It showed them everything. Ava smiled faintly. Maybe now they'll leave us alone, but Echo beeped. Alert. One ship still inbound. Hostile signature. Unknown origin. Kalen's head snapped up. It's not Council. Echo replied. It's someone else. Everyone turned to the sky as a sleek black ship broke through the clouds. It looked different from the Council warships, faster, sharper, deadly. It's a rogue, Ava said. A mercenary. The ship landed hard, sending dust flying. The doors opened. Out stepped a tall figure in dark armor. His helmet clicked as he walked forward. Kalen stepped forward. Who are you? The figure removed his helmet. He was human, but his eyes were cold. My name is Rendell, Earth survivor, former commander, now bounty hunter. Ava stiffened. Heard of him. He worked with the Council after the war. Rendell smiled. I've been paid to destroy this place. By who? Serana asked. The ones who still fear Earth, he said. Not all of the Council wants peace. Kalen stepped in front of the crystal. You'll have to go through me. I plan to, Rendell said, drawing a glowing blade. The Guardians stepped forward, but Rendell moved fast. Too fast. He struck one Guardian down with a powerful blow. Ava fired her weapon. The blast hit Rendell, but his armor absorbed it. Serana ducked and rolled, throwing a flash grenade. It exploded, blinding Rendell for a second. That's all Kalen needed. He placed the crystal into the soil. The ground shook. Roots shot out. Grabbing Rendell's legs, he fought them, slicing wildly, but more roots came. They pulled him to the ground. The flower from earlier bloomed. Again, brighter than ever, a voice whispered through the wind, "You are not the future." Vines wrapped around Rendell, locking him in place. The forest swallowed him slowly until he was gone. Silence returned. Kalen stood, breathing hard. "Is it over?" The flower closed. Ava nodded. "For now." Echo beeped. "Council ships leaving. Orbit. Message received." Clay looked at the field around him, damaged but alive. Serana smiled. "You did it." "No," Kalen said. "Earth did." We held the crystal close to his chest. "We're just part of its story." But above them, in the stars, one of the blinking lights on the crystal's map turned red. Another safe world. Under attack, the galaxy was waking up, and Earth's legacy was only beginning. In the quiet after the battle, Edenine began to breathe again. The skies cleared. The trees slowly uncurled their leaves. Wounded guardians returned to the soil to heal. Commander Ava's team checked their gear, scanning the area for more threats. Serana stood at the edge of the field, watching the horizon with narrowed eyes. Kalen sat beside the flower where the crystal had been planted. He held a tablet in one hand, staring at the glowing map the crystal had projected. Dozens of planets twinkled like stars on the screen. Earth's seed worlds. But one of them blinked red dot, fast and angry. "It's under attack," Kalen said aloud. Serana turned. Where Kalen zoomed in. "The planet's name is Lumen 3. It was one of our test environments. We sent samples there decades ago." Ava approached. "Any human survivors there?" "Unknown," Kalen said. "It was automated. Designed to rebuild Earth's ecosystem slowly, hidden in deep space. No life signs now, but..." He paused. "But what?" Serana asked. "The red light means something damaged the crystal network," he said. "Not just an attack, a corruption. Someone is trying to break the legacy." Ava frowned. "Did Vorkin do this?" Kalen shook his head. "No," the council pulled back. "This is something else, a darker force." Serana stepped closer to the map. "Then we need to go there." "Now?" Kalen looked up. "It could be a trap." "I don't care," she said. "That world might hold another crystal, another memory. If they destroy it, the galaxy might never know what Earth really was." Ava nodded. "We'll take the scout ship. Quiet. Fast. Just the three of us." Kalen stood slowly. "Then let's go." Their ship cut through space like a silver arrow. Quiet engines, cloaked signature, no lights. As they approached Lumen 3, darkness surrounded them. The planet appeared slowly in the viewports, a pale, blue-gray world covered in clouds. The air seemed heavy, like it was holding its breath. "No. Signals," Ava said. "No broadcasts. No satellites. It's dead quiet." "Too quiet," Serana added. They entered orbit, circling twice, then landed in a valley full of dead trees and cracked soil. Kalen stepped out first. The wind was cold and dry. The sun barely reached the ground. The sky looked bruised. "This used to be green," he said softly. "I remember the data. This world had flowers, rivers, insects. But now..." He crouched and picked up a piece of burnt bark. It turned to dust in his hand. "Something drained it," Serana said. "Like it stole the life out of everything." Ava tapped her scanner. "Radiation levels are rising. Mild. Could be artificial." Glenn looked ahead. In the distance, a dome-shaped structure rose from the earth, half buried and broken. "That's the original seed lab," he said. "If the crystal survived, it would be there." They moved quickly but carefully. Strange shapes moved in the fog. Distant clicking sounds echoed around them. Ava stayed close, weapon ready. Serana scanned every shadow. When they reached the dome, the doors were broken open. Inside, red lights blinked weakly. The floor was covered in ash and cracked metal, and at the center, a shattered pedestal, the crystals missing. Kalun whispered. "No," Serana said. "Look, a piece of the crystal remained, just a shard." It pulsed faintly. Kalen knelt beside it. "It's still alive." Suddenly, the shard flashed. A wave of images rushed through their minds, fire, screaming, machines with red eyes tearing. Roots from the soil, something had arrived here. Something not from Earth. A shadow. A voice filled the air, mechanical and cold. Error. Organic code detected. Earth signature. Purge in progress. What is that? Ava shouted. Kalen stepped back. It's not the council. It's something worse. An old enemy. The ground shook. Metal claws burst from the soil. Dark machines rose, four-legged, glowing red, built for destruction. Run, Ava yelled. They fired and plasma blasts hit. The walls, melting steel. The three ran through the ruined dome, ducking behind fallen beams. Kalen clutched the shard, shielding it with his body. A machine leapt over them. Sirana spun, sliced it with her energy blade, but more came. We'll never make it to the ship, Ava shouted. Kalen looked at the shard. Wait. The crystal. It remembers. He pressed the shard to his chest. It burned and then glowed. A shockwave pulsed from his body. The machines froze, one by one. They powered down, smoke rose from their joints, and then they collapsed. Silent Kalen dropped to his knees, gasping. Sirana caught him. What did you do? I gave it a piece of me, he whispered. The crystal knew the code of Earth. I gave it mine. Ava stared at the silent machines. So these things, they were attacking Earth's memory, trying to erase it. They're not just enemies of humans, Sirana said. They're enemies of life itself. Kalen opened his hand. The shard was brighter now, and something new glowed inside it, a tiny dot of green. A seed, he whispered. This world isn't dead yet. They returned to the ship, silent and shaken. As they rose into orbit, Kalen placed the shard in a small chamber, letting it recover. Lumen 3 was nearly lost, Ava said. But we saved part of it. Sirana looked out the window. We need to warn the others. If these machines attack other seed worlds, they'll erase everything, Kalen finished. Every trace of Earth, every memory, every hope. 8 looked at the map now. 2 more lights were flashing red. Sirana clenched her fists. Then we don't wait anymore. We fight back. Ava turned the ship. Let's return to Eta 9. Build a defense. Send the signal. Need allies. Kalen nodded. And we need to find the source.
These machines didn't just wake up.
Someone turned them on. Who would do that? Ava asked. Kalen looked grim. Someone who wants Earth to stay dead. Back on Eta 9, the Guardians sensed the danger. The flower that held the crystal opened again and glowed brighter than ever. Before, the vines stretched across the land. Faster now, protecting it. Echo beeped in alarm. New message, it said, and coming from a rogue channel. Kalen opened it. A blurry figure appeared on screen. Human, face hidden. It spoke in a deep, synthetic voice. You are playing with forces too old to understand. Earth was not forgotten. It was buried for a reason. Then the screen turned black. Kalen stared. This isn't over, he said quietly. No, Sirana said. It's just beginning. The warning message still echoed in Kalen's mind. You are playing with forces too old to understand. Earth was not forgotten. It was buried for a reason. He had replayed it dozens of times. The voice was distorted. Human, but not normal. It sounded damaged. Like it had forgotten how to feel. Sirana stood beside him in the Eta 9 command center, arms crossed. Whoever sent that message knew about Earth, knew about the machines, maybe even knew about the crystals. Commander, Ava agreed. They also knew where to hit. Those machines weren't just wild, they were aimed. Then we find out who they are, Sirana said. And we stop them before more seed worlds fall. Kalen nodded. 2 more planets have turned red since Lumen 3. If we lose too many, Earth's memory could vanish completely. Echo floated over. Incoming signal. Not a warning this time. Kalen turned toward the small drone. Play it. A quiet voice came through the speakers. Clear, calm, human, if you're out there. I need help. I'm on Ares 12. I have a crystal. And they're coming. The voice trembled. Please, I think I'm the last one left. Then the signal cut. Kalen's heart skipped. That voice. Serana looked at him. You know it? He nodded slowly. I think that was my sister. Hours later, their ship tore through the stars once more. Kalen sat in silence in the back, staring at an old holo picture. A smiling woman, dark hair, brown eyes, full of light. Her name was Elia. She was a bioarchivist, Kalen said. When Earth fell, she was on the Exodus ship. I thought she died. She may have, Ava said. This could be a trick? Serana shook her head. The voice was real, and the pain in it. You can't fake that. Kalen looked out the window at the stars. Then we find her. We find out what she knows. Ares 12 was not like Eta Neen. The moment they entered its atmosphere, they saw the signs of destruction. Smoke rose from burning forests. Broken towers jutted from the hills. The soil was blackened. Entire lakes had turned to ash. This was supposed to be a healing world. Ava said, a place for restoration. Not anymore, Serana replied. They landed near a collapsed research dome. Echo led the way, scanning for life. Red lights blinked faintly in the distance. Suddenly a warning blared from Echo. Movement ahead. Organic, faint. Kalen ran toward the signal, pushed open a broken door. Inside, laying behind a shattered console, was a woman covered in dirt and ash. Elia. He shouted. She opened her eyes slowly. Kalen, he dropped beside her. You're alive. Thought I'd try to warn you, she whispered. They followed the signal. They want the crystal. You have to stop them. Serana knelt. Beside them, where is it? Elia reached into her coat and pulled out a small glowing stone, a crystal shard. Brighter than any Kalen had seen. This one holds the Earth core memory, she said. It's everything. If they get it? She didn't finish. Kalen looked at the shard. It pulsed like a living heart. Then the ground shook. They're here, Elia whispered. The machines came fast this time, not like before. These ones were different, taller, sharper, intelligent. They didn't just shoot, they spoke. The memory, this world is closed. One of the machines projected a twisted symbol. It looked like a cracked earth. Ava fired the first shot. The battle began. Blasts lit the night sky. Trees exploded. The ground cracked beneath their feet. Grabbed the crystal and ran with Ilya toward the ship. I'll protect it, he said. I promise. A machine leaped in front of him. Serana blocked it with her blade, cutting it down in one clean arc. More kept coming. Ilya, can you walk? Serana asked. She nodded weakly. I just need time. They fought their way back. Inch by inch. Each time they killed one machine, two more arrived. Then Kalen did something reckless. He turned, opened his suit, and pressed the Earth core crystal to his chest. Are you crazy? Serana yelled. It's the only way, he shouted. If it recognizes me, I can activate its shield. Ack. The crystal sank into his body and pulsed once. Everything froze. The machines stopped moving. The red lights flickered. A sound like thunder rolled across the valley. From the sky, green light poured down in a circle surrounding Kalen, Ilya, Serana, and Ava. And then the machines began to fall apart, melting, breaking, disappearing into dust. When it was over, only silence remained. Kalen collapsed. He woke up hours later on the ship. Ilya sat beside him, holding his hand. You could have died, she said softly. But I didn't, he whispered. The crystal, it saved me. Serana entered the room. You didn't just save yourself. You activated a defense protocol, something ancient. The core memory is awake now. It knows we're fighting back. Ava joined them, he also found. Something in the ruins. She placed a small device on the table, lit up, showing a map. But this map was different. It showed the machine network dozens of red lines across the galaxy, connecting to a single point. The source, Serana said. The place where these things were born, Ava confirmed. It's in the Dead Star Belt. No ships go there. Kalan? Sat up. Then that's where we go next. Ilya looked at him, worried. Kalen, if we go there, we might not come back. He looked at her. If we don't go, Earth's last light will be lost. What? He stood slowly, holding the crystal. This time, we don't run. This time, we end it. Far away, in the deep silence of the dead star belt, something stirred. A massive machine world opened its metal eyes. In the center of it, a throne of wires and bone, and on that throne sat a broken man with a metal face. His eyes glowed red. The humans found the core. A voice behind him, metallic and cold, replied, "Should we begin the deletion?" He nodded once. Yes, let Earth burn again.